Good morning, everybody from Animal Kingdom. Today we are coming here to try the brand new Lightning Lane. This is a new system that is kind of like the old system with a few little changes. However, it is very windy today. We are getting ready for Tropical Storm Debbie. As you can see, everything is blowing around, so hopefully the Lightning Lane doesn't bring the lightning storms here at Animal Kingdom. So come join us today as we test out the new system and let you know our honest opinions on how this works. Now you may need to bear with us just a little bit again as we try and dodge all of the wind. I know that it really irritates the microphone. However, we are coming in, we have our 3 lightning lanes selected. I'll talk a little bit about that. Let's go ahead and get checked in and headed to our first ride. Now it has been a little while since I've been to Animal Kingdom. Nicole has been here recently with her friends, so they have a little bit more experience today. However, I feel like, how long has it been since we've been here? I feel like it's been, months at this point. I don't even know if we've come at all during the summer. That is kind of a weird plant.
It reminds me of like a succulent.
Yeah, almost cactus-like. Now, like I said, we are utilizing Lightning Lane today, and what we did about 3 days ago now, so you get 3 days advance as a non-resort guest, and we went ahead and reserved our 3 picks for the morning, and we're gonna see if we can actually hop over to Hollywood Studios afterwards. So you don't have to pay for like the park hopping when it comes to Lightning Lane anymore, but you have to pay for your original park. So Animal Kingdom tends to be the cheapest, but we also wanted to try it here because there's not really that same tier system that you have at the other parks. Everything here is basically on the same tier, so we weren't limited to having one of like the higher tier rides and then 2 of the lower tiers. So we thought, let's go ahead, do everything here first. Then once we scan into our first ride, we'll start to see if we can go ahead and start booking rides over at Hollywood Studios. I don't know what the availability is gonna look like, but I'm hoping everything kind of lines up pretty well for us. So our ride lineup today is Navi River Journey over here, and then we're gonna continue on right into the Kilimanjaro Safaris, and then we'll continue and end over here with Expedition Everest. I also didn't realize that they have Braille on here. So those are the 3 rides that we have lined up. And let's just talk a little bit about how that's done. If you have used the old Fast Pass system from Disney World, you would know how this new system kind of works. Very similar. You're going to choose your park, you're going to choose 3 rides, and those times that line up. Then once you scan into your first ride, your next Lightning Lane will then open up. Genie Plus was a little different. You had like a 2-hour window. I didn't like that system much at all. A lot of people really didn't like it. Now we're kind of back to the old system. It's not exactly the same, but it is very similar. Now, one of the biggest things that I think is a change would be, I think, your time frame. So again, you get 3 days now if you are a non-Disney resort guest, or 7 days if you are staying on property. Now, I think in the past it was like 30 days and 60 days. So at least you're kind of fighting inside of that window for your spots versus like people that are multiple, weeks out at that point. We have made it over here to Pandora, and now we are going to head on to our first ride, which is Navi River Journey. We are literally, I think, at the end of our time right now, but I think we'll be okay. I think you still do get about 10 minutes like past your time frame to go ahead and check in. So we are going to check to see if we can make our next Lightning Lane reservation. We did just check in, by the way. It made a very cool sound. I haven't actually heard that. Also haven't used the new Lightning Lane system, obviously, but with Genie Plus, I also don't remember it having that. So are we scanned in?
You can check for another available experience once you redeem one, so I don't think that's redeemed.
Okay, so we're probably gonna have to hit the second checkpoint. Once the second checkpoint happens, I believe we should open up our Lightning Lane experience then from there.
I really like that this time.
Instead of that 2-hour window or not understanding
like
it.
Last time people were like, no, you can't book. No, you can't book.
Yep,
and
it was so
last time when
confusing.
my friend was in town, we did it, and I thought it worked. And then come the 2-hour mark, we were still locked out, so it didn't work.
Yeah.
I just think the 2-hour overlapped with it.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people were talking about that before. So they would tell you that you could register for a new Genie Plus at the time, but Nicole and I never got it to work correctly, so I don't know. Oh, is it ready?
You can check for another available experience now.
Nice. Okay, let's go ahead. So we do have a little bit of some rough internet here, but yeah, we went ahead and switched the park to Hollywood Studios, and now we can go ahead and look to see available times. I'll talk about timing in a little bit here and see what we've got available.
I see Mickey Minis.
745. What do we have for
Rock and Roller Coaster.
Roller Coaster 3. What about
Slinky's
Slinky?
not offered.
So Slinky is still sold out. So that is still the one that I feel like is pretty rough to get.
Rise you have to pay for still. It's not part of the system.
That is the individual.
Toy Story Mania 510.
What about
Tower 315.
Let's do Tower 315 maybe. I think that's a good one. Now here is one of the downsides about using the system. We're always on our phones, right? And that's kind of the negative part of it. So as we are looking, you can also go in and modify your time. Let's see if we can get to see there. But you can go in and modify and change it to a later time. So I feel like that's also another plus over Genie Plus. You weren't able to really pick your time frame, and that was always hard for me. It's like you want to set it up. So we'll keep looking to see if it gets any earlier than 3. But right now that should probably be okay. So what'll be nice then too
is 1 o'clock.
Oh, there is one. Go ahead and switch to it. Wow. As we're doing this, and there you go.
There we go.
1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Nice. So we actually got a little bit of an earlier time. Love to see that. But you can see, so once we get onto Kilimanjaro, which is at 10:10, and we are at 10:12, so we'll do that after this ride, we'll go ahead and have another one available, and we'll start stacking them up for Hollywood Studios. This should work out really well. Alrighty, we are up. Let's go ahead. We have not done this ride in a very long time. We have finished up with Navi River Journey as we look and marvel over all of the architectural work here inside of Pandora, but we do actually need to kind of boogie over to Kilimanjaro Safari. Now again, as you saw there in line, we were able to go ahead and book our next Lightning Lane immediately, didn't need to wait 2 hours or whatever. So we have now, that's going to be our 4th ride lined up within like the first hour of the park being open, where on Genie Plus, you got your 1 ride, then 2 hours after the park opens, you would get your 2nd. So it's feeling pretty good already. The fact that we have 4 rides lined up, all things that I feel like people are going to want to ride, and we have it really well done right now. So we started at 9, and now we're going to line up pretty much all the way till noon here at Animal Kingdom, start our then Hollywood Studios day at 1 with Tower. So that is another thing I want to talk about really quickly, is a lot of people before talked about stacking your Lightning Lanes or your Genie Pluses back in the day, and now I think you're better to start as early as possible, so that way you can get that refunded Lightning Lane ticket, so that way you can go ahead and book later. So you can now, I think in my opinion, based on what I'm already seeing, I think you're going to be able to get a lot more Lightning Lanes than you could Genie Pluses.
So I 1000% agree with that, with like getting on more rides. And I feel like you and I have only done Lightning Lane maybe like once or twice when we first moved down here. But I feel like I have a little bit more, or I guess Genie Plus. But I feel like because I've had friends visit, I've had a little bit more experience with Genie Plus, especially recently when my friend came, we did Genie Plus 2 of the 4 days. And a lot of Genie Plus is like, well, you get that morning ride, and then you try to stack the afternoon, because you know, you get your 7 a.m. pick, but then you're not picking again until 11, and then till 1, and then till 3. So by 3 o'clock, you're on your 4th ride potentially, where at 1 o'clock we'll be on our 4th ride. So I 1000% agree that with this new system, you are getting so many more rides depending on how you like pay attention and the crowds in the park.
Yeah, so basically the idea that, again, we have booked our 4th ride for 1 p.m. and at 1 p.m. you would be picking your 3rd ride. You're picking your 3rd ride at 1 p.m. Crazy how nice it is. Again, this is basically the old school Fast Pass system, which I think a lot of people really enjoyed. So I think a lot of people were upset that number 1, they took it away, and then number 2, made it paid. So yes, it is a paid service right now. However, you don't have to pay for the like park hopping options, which is a nice benefit too, because I feel like before with Genie Plus, if you wanted to do like the multi-park, you were paying more money. So you can actually choose the cheapest option, which is what we did today. I think you said it was what, $34? So it was $17 a piece for the Animal Kingdom one, and then Hollywood Studios, if we did that first, it would have been $24 a piece. So we got 3 rides here. It was a little cheaper, and we're still going to be able to go over to Hollywood Studios. It's only shifted in like difference in price because of the fact that you are able to choose like the first 3 rides at that park. So because we started at Animal Kingdom, our first 3 rides have to be here. So you can't shift it. That is one thing. So if you want to be like, well, I want to do, you know, 1 ride at Animal Kingdom, 2 rides at Epcot, you can't split your first 3. Once you're checked in to your very first ride though, everything is open at that point. You can start picking and choosing, and there's no tier systems either. That's another reason why I highly recommend doing your first ride as soon as possible, because it then opens up all of the rides to you for your future bookings. Look at the little baby monkeys. Are they lemurs? I don't actually know exactly what they are. I think it's over here to the left, but they're so small. I feel like I just want to like hold them. Look at them. They're hanging out. You said they're what?
I can't read.
Tamarin? Tamarin? Cotton top tamarin. Yeah, there they are. But they're so cute. Look at them. Don't you want to just like hold them?
Yes.
I know.
I don't know if they want to be held.
Probably not. One more thing I do want to point out as we are heading over to the Kilimanjaro Safaris would be that if you do want those specific rides, Nicole is just pointing this out, Slinky Dog, for example, is sold out. So if you want to ride something very specific, you would definitely want to choose that park as your starting park, because there is still a chance that they do sell out. And if you are not staying at a Disney Resort hotel, there is a chance that it will already be sold out come your 3-day window. So they get 7 days, which means they have an extra 4 days that they can go ahead and choose rides. So you might not get it even on that 3-day mark. Everything that we looked at, we were looking at everything, was available when we were kind of choosing in the first place. But just keep that in mind. You definitely want to choose the park that you most likely will want to ride, like those big ticket attractions, just because there's no guarantee you can get them later. All right, it is time to head on to the Kilimanjaro Safaris. That was really nice. We got to get ahead of a lot of this line. I think it's a 50-minute poster right now, but Nicole's checking the app right now. Something I do also want to mention is that, again, refresh for those time slots, because you saw our first time was like 3:30, I think, and as we were talking, all of a sudden 1 p.m. opened up, so it will open for earlier times. We went ahead and booked our next one for Rock and Roller Coaster at 3:35. It was actually 3:50, and I just changed it to 3:35. So this is how our day is lining up. We are in line for the safaris right now, but we are also getting ready then after this to head over to Everest, and then we'll go ahead and park hop over to Tower, and then after that we have Rock. I mean, this is lining up super well, and as soon as we scan into Everest, we'll get another one. There was actually a 1:30 for Toy Story Mania, so the times are lining up super well right now. I am really liking this system.
Bongos are known as the ghost of the 4,000 pounds. Sadly, due to poaching, there are only about hippos sleep under the water and can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time when they need air until it drops from exhaustion. They're also sometimes known as painted dogs for the unique markings of the world, which heights of up to 18 to 20
There's 5 or 6 of them, wow.
And their tails can also reach up to 1.5 feet. Society, which means, of course, that the females are in charge. At adulthood, male elephants will be kicked back at that pink coloring until about 2 years after birth. Greater flamingos are also invited to the pride and the cones. During the day, lions can see just as well as we can.
Looking at the beautiful tree here, I feel like every single time I look, I always see new animals carved into the side. It is crazy how many. I think there's like hundreds of them, if I'm not mistaken. There were some tornado warnings that have now popped up, so we need to keep an eye on the weather in the area. Like I said, we do have a tropical storm approaching. I think it's supposed to make landfall tomorrow, but I know obviously you're getting storms that kind of push out, and I think it's actually going to avoid the Central Florida area. Again, I think we're just getting the outer edge storms, but it's something that, you know, we do need to keep in mind as we are at the parks, kind of keep an eye out for. As of now, windy, but the skies don't look horrible. I have never seen Russell and Doug here before. I don't know, I don't even think this is new. I just don't think I've ever recognized that this is here. So there is a hooded vulture. One of the cast members here is talking about it, and he said she is just kind of hanging out. They're waiting for her to come down so that way they can put her back in the cage. So interesting. Looks almost like a skeleton face. It's almost creepy. We have monkeys out here. We've never had monkeys. I feel like every single time we visit, I feel like we never get to see them out here. And now they're out swinging around, having a good time. They look so like fuzzy and furry. We have made it over here to Asia, getting ready to go ahead and do Expedition Everest. It does look like a pretty long line. Very excited that we are using Lightning Lane today. Again, been a little while since we've done this. Not too long. I feel like the last time we were here, we definitely did ride it. But either way, let's go ahead, get checked in, and then book another Lightning Lane. Here we go. Time to get in line. Actually, it says it's only a 40-minute long wait. I feel like the line does typically go pretty quick. All right, back row it is. Here we go. Well, I didn't want to hold the camera this time because sometimes I feel like it is just so shaky, but we did end up getting a good ride. Back row, lots of fun. Maybe a little early to do Everest, but you know what? It was a good ride nonetheless. And yeah, but let me show you what we just got here. So in line, we ended up getting Mickey and Minnie's, but then Slinky opened up for a 12.55 here. And so we have a 12.55 Slinky. Again, that was sold out for the day. Saw that pop up. We also have our tower at 1. So that's gonna be a pretty tight overlap. I think we'll be able to do it as long as Slinky doesn't take too long. How crazy is that we've gotten 3 very good attractions here. We're about to go over to Hollywood Studios, get 3 prime attractions over there. Honestly, after we scan in, you could probably go like and do like Epcot and like Magic Kingdom.
Rides by 3:30.
Yeah, 6 per like very good rides by 3:30. That is absurd. They do have a lot of their new merch out for the Halloween season. Yeah, Stitch has so much. This is so funny. Well, his face looks a little weird here, but overall, there's a lot of new merch this year. We are going to do a full video of this. I'm hoping everything's at Springs. That was kind of the plan, so we'll cover a lot of this, but Stitch is really blowing up. That's fun, right?
And in the back,
yeah.
skeleton Mickey. This is
They've
one
got
of the cutest
so
Halloween things I've seen.
I know, I was just saying, I feel like there's so much here, so we will cover. Is it good? Oh yeah, that is very soft. Wow. Now again, we are making our way over to Hollywood Studios, but just to reiterate, I mean, we are going to have by 3:30 today 6 rides done. Very premier rides. We're not talking like some of their smaller things. We're talking serious attractions. One thing too, I feel like with Genie Plus, you are on your phone all the time trying to find those earlier times. And we did a little bit today. We did luck out. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But I would say overall, it doesn't feel like we are on our phone nearly as much. I thought we were going to be kind of stuck on our phones a lot. Haven't felt like we've had to do it. As soon as we scan in, we've gone ahead, booked that next Lightning Lane, and we're good to go. We always have 3 ready to go. Unlike the Genie Plus system, where I feel like you're kind of waiting to get that next one up and running. I don't know, I feel like for the value right now, this is so nice. Granted, it's very much similar to the old FastPass system, so obviously everybody really liked that, so it makes sense that this is, you know, working out as well as it is. But I am loving how good this is lining up. Also something to keep in mind, like I said, 2 rides. So Rock and Slinky Dog would be tier 1 rides. We wouldn't have been able to get those if we were to have like booked over at Hollywood Studios to start. You can only get 1 tier 1 ride. So because we started here, we actually have both of them lined up in our visit over there. I do want to point out as well, Epcot does have Remy's and Frozen are booked up right now, not available. So I did point that out earlier. If you want to make sure that you're getting on those specific rides, I would still start at the park that you want to do the rides. One big thing I also do want to mention is as soon as you're able to start booking for that 3 days out, I would, because we were actually looking to go to the parks either Friday or Saturday. Again, today's Sunday, and we weren't at like that maximum limit for the 3 days, and we were seeing a lot of stuff was picked over. So I would say really utilize that 3-day window or 7 days if you guys are staying on property, just because it's going to give you, you know, that best opportunity to get the rides that you want at the times that you want. Again, today is lined up perfectly so far, so I can't complain at all. But either way, yeah, we're gonna head over to Hollywood Studios now and go ride some more rides. After about a 5-minute drive, we are here to Hollywood Studios. Let's head over to Slinky. And again, the clouds have sort of subsided now a little bit. All checked in, just so you guys are aware, it does close at 9 p.m. today for Hollywood Studios and Fantasmic, 9 p.m. Make sure if you guys are having a good time with us here today, to give this video a thumbs up. It helps out a ton. We are heading now over to Slinky Dog Dash. I think I just heard thunder though, which makes me a little nervous. You know what? Maybe it is the Indiana Jones show that I'm hearing that sounds like thunder, because we did hear it coming in, so maybe no thunder and maybe we're totally okay. We made it over here to Slinky. Back there in the distance, it looks like some storm clouds though. We are 20 minutes early, so we'll see. I think you can maybe go in 10 minutes early. I know 10 minutes late, I think. Oh God, there's the rain. Oh my gosh, oh, we gotta get inside. Slinky is back up and running. Looks like the rain has subsided. That came down fast. It was like no warning, just started downpouring. We were sitting right over there. Everybody ran under these umbrellas. So next touch point is up there. So we had 2 rides, right? So Everest and Safari was 1 touch point. So we were able to do...
What's Safari? Yes, because Safari was working for me, but it works for you.
But yeah, you do have to wait till you hit that 2nd touch point in order to get access to your next lightning lane. But again, looks like everything is back up and open right now. It's actually really nice. The second we scanned in, I saw the app update. So it's really quick to go ahead and give you that next availability. So I guess we'll search and see if there's anything that's coming up in just a little bit here. So Rock is actually down right now, but we just got Toy Story for $115. So
We're right across the Toy Story.
I know. So we're gonna have 7 rides done by 3:30.
We're what? Typically 7.
So it'll be 7, 11.
1, 3. That's 4 rides. Not the old Genie Plus system.
That you would normally get.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have 7.
Not finished rides, but like queued up
But
rides.
booked, yeah. And we're gonna have 7
rides.
done.
Yes. By the same
Wow. Here we go. Oh, you know, the clouds don't look too bad. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we are rumbling back here.
The back row. Well, not the back.
Almost
back.
8, right? Is there 9 in here?
Yeah.
That's weird.
And then there's a 10, but it's like a wheelchair seat, so it's not on all the trains.
Oh. Oh, we're seeing back stage. It is, right?
Yeah.
It's a good like bridge the gap kind of thing.
It's a bit more intense than Penguin Trek.
You think so?
I do, yeah.
Oh, I don't think so.
There's some speed and some like drops on this. I think Penguin Trek is kind of like fast and like zoomy, like kind of like the Wizard type thing.
Another ride down. Love it. Today is going so well. We are actually just going right around the corner to Toy Story Mania, and then after that over to Tower, and we'll unlock another lightning lane once we get checked in. This is amazing. Even with the storms, everything is working out so good. Also, Nicole got a new bag here. This is a Groot bag. She loves baby Groot, and this
Only
looks really nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, not the normal Groot. Do you like the teenage Groot?
Not really. It's
So baby Groot or bust.
He
Okay.
doesn't have to be in the pot though. He can still be like little, walking around.
This is the new one. Loungefly here. It's a nice little bag.
Ears, but
Is there?
my ears.
But it's fun. You get like little like baby Groot emblem here and everything too. So her new bag she's been going around with. She has a Coco one, right? That's typically
Coco's
your
my
go-to.
And it's nice and broken in and so comfortable. You gotta break
true.
the others in.
And your Shrek one for
I've
Universal.
been trying to be better about wearing Shrek to Universal.
Ooh, it's quite a long one today, so Lightning Lane is paying off dividends, I would have to say. We are getting a nice one here. This is so nice. We got to just come across, scan right in. They actually let us in just a minute or 2 early. I think you can scan in like up to 5 minutes early. We are like, it's 1:08 now, and it was for 1:15, so they did give us just a few extra minutes there, which was really nice of them. So we just got another reservation, 3:40 to 4:40 for Smuggler's Run now. We could go a little bit later, but we're there. Also, we saw Mickey and Minnie's for 5 something.
5:05.
Yeah, but a lot of times, again, you can go in and change it. So we got another ride lined up.
right.
Are you ready, Nicole?
Are we going for the tricks?
Well, yeah, you have to, right? This is a close one today. Not my best.
Got over 100 with Becca. What happened today? I can't play good around you.
I did so bad, I think. Oh my God. You said you did bad.
I did so good.
I still had best in vehicle, surprisingly enough. That was, Nick, we did bad on that one.
I did great on this one.
You did good on that one. Does anybody know, is there 2 completely different tracks in there? Because we loaded in a different side, and we've done it before, but I just realized that like, you load and unload from a completely different area. So is it like the Lightning Lane side versus the non-Lightning Lane side? Is it kind of how like Alpha and Omega are over at Space? I need to also point out, Nicole's not going to agree with me. My gun was broken.
It was a little wonky. I will say that. It's almost like he was pulling, but it was like showing up like completely diagonal.
I don't mind.
I could see the yellow by me more than by you.
There was times I was like pulling it and like I only saw like 3 or 4 of them going through. So I don't know. I think it was a little bugged out. Sometimes that happens though. Sometimes I get like a little like nauseous or like a little bit of a headache from the screens. This time I actually thought it was really good, but it was darker. So I don't know if the screens were like a little better on this side, but just a little bit more turned down. But I had no issues. Typically,
I do really good in that first room because I do the fox and the hen house. And that gets me so many points, but the hens were so blurry. It was like dark and like I couldn't really see it well. And that always gets me a ton of points, that room. I start off high, then I go down. And it was opposite today.
Yeah, so I don't know if the screens were just different or what, but I don't know. Either way, fun time heading over to Tower. Now I need to point something out to you because it's happened to us probably 3 times inside of the app today alone, and that would be when you are selecting a new attraction or modifying one of your times, it's going to look like it's confirmed. Scroll to the bottom and click continue until you get that page that shows you like that you successfully grabbed it. You are not confirmed yet. So Nicole thought that she booked our Smuggler's Run earlier, and she was like, yeah, I have it here. I went in my app, didn't see it, and I was like, did you click continue? And she's like, oh, whoops, goes back in and then clicks it. So it looks like it's confirmed, but you actually need to scroll down to the bottom, click continue, and then it'll bring you then to the next page. A 50-minute posted wait for Tower. Thankfully, we do have Lightning Lane, so let's go ahead and get checked in. Now, Tower is one of those rides that does have a double tap system, so you're gonna scan in when you first walk in, and then there's another touch point when you get inside, so you'll have to wait to get that second one before you can actually book another Lightning Lane. You excited for some Tower, Nicole?
Tower. I think Tower's top 3 for me.
Top 3 rides?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tower's good. It's so unique.
It's Guardians, Space Mountain, Tower.
Wow.
Not sure of the order, but those are the solid.
It could be a different order any given day, right? I feel like
always those 3.
Yeah. We still need to bring back Max and Goofy out here doing their little fishing escapade. Thankfully, again, skies look decently clear. Does anybody know? I want to ask. Does Tower run when there is lightning and like storms? I don't actually know.
On an evening very much like the one we have just witnessed. Tonight's story of the Twilight Zone is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction. This, as you may recognize, is a maintenance service elevator.
We got row 2, which means we're gonna be front row. Here we go. That was a very good ride on Tower there. Sometimes I feel like you're like up, down, and you're kind of like done. This one, I feel like we went for a while. We had a lot of big drops. It was a very fun ride. I feel like it's been one of the best ones we've had, I think, this year, and probably like top 2 or 3 that we've ever had. So that was a very good one. Love to see it. Now I think we have about an hour and a half until our rock reservation comes up. So I think we're gonna grab some lunch, kind of just hang out. But at the end of the day, I feel like right now we've gotten, what, 6 rides done? Or
yeah, 6 rides done by 2 o'clock.
Yeah, so we've done 6.
So like, 7, 11, 1, 3. So at 3 p.m., we could have picked our 4th ride. And instead, we've already rode 6. That's
there you go.
A crazy difference.
This is our current situation, by the way. So there is the tropical storm right there. There's our location at Disney, and if you just play, this is what it is looking like over the next few hours. We're right on the edge, so looks like we might just be missing it here. We did the Buffalo Chicken Bowl from the Fairfax Fair. We've had it once before, what, like almost 2 years ago now, like probably a year and a half.
Yeah.
And it was really good back then. It comes with mashed potatoes inside of this like waffle bowl with the buffalo chicken, and then you have like a coleslaw on top. It's very, very good. It has been raining for almost probably an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours at this point. But we have eaten, as you guys saw. We had our food. And then we went and shopped around a little bit, but now we are heading over to Rock because it is 3:30 and our time is for 3:35 as the rain is picking up just a little bit more. But we're heading over there. Then we have Smugglers right after that. So I think I just saw that Aerosmith, I don't know if they're totally breaking up. I know they're done touring And I've been hearing through the grapevine they are in the process of trying to kind of convert this over to somebody else. It does kind of feel like at this point, now that they've made that announcement, we could be on the way out and waiting for something new. It is a 70-minute posted right now for this ride, by the way. Quite a long one here.
These people here like this?
We can't?
No! Come on, you know how we feel about our fans.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, guys, what do you expect me to do? Send them all with you?
Yeah.
Hey, Steven, what about some backstage passes?
Wait a minute. I love that idea.
So this was weird. They were filling all the rows. They went up to like row 9, and then they told us to come to row 4. So I don't know how they were filling it, but either way, we're up next. Well, we have just finished up, but it is coming down right now. Feels like the tropical storm is finally getting to us here. We have Smuggler's Run going right now if we want to run over there, but I think just to kind of save getting too wet, and then obviously we had Mickey and Minnie's after that too, but like I said, I think there's just too much rain. I think we're gonna go ahead and call it here. We did end up making it home. The storms definitely have picked up. It has not stopped raining since. It's kind of off and on how intense it is. But either way, I just want to talk a little bit about the Lightning Lane just whole day, like how we thought about it. And honestly, I love the new system. Once again, it does remind me exactly of the old FastPass system, which is probably why we ended up getting on 7 rides, 7 big attraction rides too. And I think we had 2 extra rides that were lined up, but because of the storms, and obviously we have work and things tomorrow, we just thought let's just head home and try and beat it before it does end up getting too bad. But either way, I think overall the new Lightning Lane system, basically being the old FastPass system, is a huge plus for Disney right now. I would say it is well worth the money. You know, we spent $17 a person. I know that can still be steep, especially if you are going for, you know, 4 or 5 people in your family. That does start to add up, especially if you're doing multiple days. The nice thing is once you get past your first reservation, all of the other parks are then open, so you actually can go ahead and start booking at whatever park you might want to hop to. You could ultimately do, I think, 4 parks. Another thing to keep in mind, it still is one of those situations where you can only pick 1 ride like for the day, so you can't continuously just do like Slinky Dog if it's over and over, or Tower or whatever. So once you ride a ride via the Lightning Lane, you cannot pick it again later on. So I guess keep that in mind too. If you just want to kind of knock out a few rides like we did, hop and then knock out some more rides, it's just a great way to do it. And in all honesty, we could have done Magic Kingdom or Epcot or whatever we wanted to do afterward, and just hopped and just like kept hopping around and doing whatever we wanted. Again, we did big attractions today, multiple tier 1 attractions too. Again, $17 per person, well spent in my opinion. So the new system, significantly better than the Genie Plus system. In my opinion, I definitely would, if somebody asked, I would say, yeah, it's definitely worth it. The Genie system, I would say, yeah, I mean, it's better because you get to cut the lines, but it never felt very easy to use. It was kind of annoying to have to set your alarm for every 2 hours to then pick up the next Genie Plus, or I guess they still called it Lightning Lane or whatever, but either way, new system, way better, absolutely love it. I think you guys will definitely enjoy it if you haven't tried it yet. It's basically the old FastPass system, and I really enjoy it. I think it's nice. Obviously, there is the individual one still. I think it's like a single pass versus a multi-pass. We didn't do that. Still stinks that like some of those rides are still on there, and you still do have some virtual queue things. So that's still not gone. But as far as just being able to kind of skip the line and utilize that system, it's cool to see that it is available and you're still able to pick stuff throughout the day that isn't totally sold out. 7 rides by 3 o'clock, starting at about 9:30. I think our first ride we actually got on right after 10, so between 10 to 3, we ended up riding 7 rides and park hopping. Pretty dang good if you ask me. Either way, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. If you did enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.